Okay, so we got confirmed news. Simple, Electronic, Senzu, and Magisk in the same roster. That in, well, maybe in 2018 or 19, except from Senzu, of course, would be a tier 1 roster. No questions asked. They would be at the major finals. And now they are in BC.Game, which is weird because we don't know exactly what to expect from that roster, at least in my opinion, right? Then we got Luminosity back after God knows how many years. I think it was 9 years away from CS. And broky is at the bench, which is weird.
Finally.
I mean, this Rostermania has been pretty good. Like, the winter Rostermania was pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Silent?
Boring?
Maybe, yeah.
Uneventful.
Uneventful, that's the word. And now there's a bunch of stuff happening at the same time. Was just confirmed that they're getting their players back again, which is a great way to spend $2.5 million. But what? Welcome to Win Condition. This is a weird one.
It really is.
It's a fun one. There's finally something fucking happening. I wrote a piece last WrestleMania about how uninteresting it was and how we were just going to have the status quo for 2, which we essentially have with, you know, a couple of fun wrinkles. But like now things are actually sort of reset a little bit. We're actually starting getting like, who's the best team in the world now? I mean, it's maybe Falcons, maybe Vitality. It depends on what you, like, you know what I mean? Like we're sort of in that zone. It's like I don't know who the best team in the world is. I don't know who the 5th best team in the world is. I don't know how good this team is, this team is, this team is, and that's how we're actually going to find some stuff out instead of just, oh, okay, we've got 6 months of the same teams, the same events, in the same seeds, and the same teams are going out last, the same teams are coming top 4. We're finally getting a shake-up, and I feel very...
Really have questions about what a team is going to look like in a server again. I'm not just going to be looking at the same 5 people playing the same 5 roles and having the same game over and over and over again with the way seeding has been in VRS. We actually get some new matchups with teams figuring out new things.
Having said that, 3 of the top 4 haven't changed, and the one who has changed before. So the top 4 is relatively unchanged. Top 5 so far, nothing changed. So there is that. But there are teams changing. Like MOUZ are going to look different. Aurora are going to look wild. Yeah. There's probably still some irons in fire. I doubt.
Okay, so let's get right into it without further ado. Yeah, so Aurora just changed a bunch, right? And I think that they getting Ash and Jimmy is actually huge for them. Aurora was this kind of tier 2 beast and tier 1 not quite team.
Tier 1 gatekeepers.
Yeah. That's probably the correct word for it, right? They just smashed every tier 2 team and then couldn't do anything against the real tier 1s. And
they were like Benfica in the Champions. But they were just always in the quarterfinals, but never actually went.
Good enough.
Precisely. So they got Jimpad, and they got Ash.
At this moment, the Kixan is still rumored to be signing on, presumably today or tomorrow, if the rumors are correct.
Kixan, oh yeah. So.
Just for reference, we're recording this on the 3rd of July, around 9 p.m. Europe time.
Yeah, 9:30.
So, yeah. So this is coming out tomorrow, so on Saturday. So it might be official by then. But for now,
I just want to say, I want to say to kick off this, I feel really sorry for Soulfly, who I don't think deserves a cut.
Yeah,
and I'm also, maybe this is a hot take, I'm not actually convinced Jimfat is any better.
I agree, you know. And
I feel like Jimfat is he has this reputation of this player that he was for like a couple months, and then Spinks came in, and he hasn't been that player pretty much ever since. And like, you can say, oh, you know, like that's because of Spinks, and I would probably agree. But you're still gambling that he's the same player he was before then. Because to be better than Soulfly, you actually have to be quite good. Like, I did not think this Soulfly move was going to do anything for Aurora, but it actually made them significantly better. And I think he's a very solid player who's had some very big games against very big teams. When, you know, Aurora stars don't always have big games against big teams. And Soulfly has stepped up and done that, and he's been rewarded with the bench, and I'm not really sure why.
What has really surprised me is that woxic survives. Like, he is by far their worst player relative to his role. Like, if you look at our stats on Reddit, it's team summary-wise, he's the only one underperforming. Soulfly has a solid 54 in his, like, roles. And I thought that he was getting better over the last few months. I've seen him, like, get more comfortable in these roles, and he was a bit more of a star in Tier 2. And he's been put in these roles, and he's doing pretty good. So why he's the one to take the bullet, I'm not entirely sure, especially because he was doing a lot of the, like, I guess all three of their stars are space stakers, but he was doing a lot of the first in stuff with Acadia on T side, was doing it more of the pack. And now you get Jimfat in, and I guess their solution is to have Kixan take that role, but Jimfat is basically about as good as an anchor right now. Like, if you look on our roster moves, he has a worse, like, dual swing, I'm pretty sure. Or, like, our tools don't rate this move at all, which, if you look at Jimfat, we know what he can do. He's a top 20 HLTV player, and like you say, they're banking on that being his real level, but why woxic survived this and they're getting rid of an actually good player in his roles, I'm pretty confused by.
I think the reasoning will be that it was a market opportunity. Jimfat was available, so they went for him. And an Orpa, they probably tried to sign 3 different Orpas, none of them came. Maybe they tried to get a Sun Pius or anyone. Like, I don't.
The original rumor was molodoy. Like 3 months ago, Sponge was talking about that, and I mean, it's funny you said market opportunity. That's the exact same phrase I used in the article that might be out by now. This is definitely a market opportunity that he's probably going to be cheap. But yeah, I mean, they must know something.
Jimfat's not going to be available. Like, somebody would have snapped him up. Probably BC.Game,
or FaZe, or like someone.
Yeah.
Regarding molodoy, I don't think he will leave FURIA as long as Farland's there. Like, I think that's just not an option.
Yeah,
I don't see why he. It just wouldn't make any sense.
That's what I wrote as well. Is they might know that he's leaving after Fallen retires, because that's an actual thing that could happen.
Something that I have heard, I don't know how. Big disclaimer: I don't know how true this is. I have heard from a few different sources, but these are just rumors. A team that was potentially interested in molodoy after he leaves FURIA, which if he leaves would be after Fallen retires, would be Spirit, correct? I know he's very good friends, or not good friends, but he's friends with with Donk and with Jesus Christ, I forgot his name. Magisk, correct.
Right. Hear me out. This is the vision. You keep Shiro and make him rifle, and you get rid of Zontix.
You make Shiro the IGL.
I don't think he has the chops to IGL. Keep Magic's IGL. He's a vibes guy.
He was Hallie's best man at his wedding. He must know something about Counter-Strike.
I don't deny he knows something about Counter-Strike. I don't think he's a leader.
Fair.
I think I think he could do the tactical side. I don't think he could do the leadership
side.
You say that. There's 2 big sides to IGL.
If you watch Spirit's vlogs after tournaments, the one that's by far the most vocal leader, Shiro. He does all the, like, guys, we played pretty well. It doesn't matter that we lost this game because we didn't have a coach. Like, that's him. It's not Magic's. It's Shiro that's doing the team
but I've also seen him cry just before a major final. Whereas
Magic's
would just
cries too.
Just chilling. Yeah, but he cries afterwards, not before. Magic's was chill. Like, you want Magic's as your leader. Like, Magic. I love Magic. I think he's great, and I think Zontix is the weak link on this team. I think Shiro is an excellent rifle. Have him rifle. I'm telling you, this is.
But I think we're bearing the lead here on the Aurora move, because the real thing that I want to talk about is the fact they signed Ash. That is this by far the best thing they've done, because if you listen to anyone who's worked with Ash talk, they have only the best things to say about him. The amount of glazes ex-players give him is, like, genuinely insane. Maybe you'd think you're talking about, like, Phil Jackson or someone like that. So I'm very excited to see what he can do with a new team. Aurora are not shy in the fact that they have money, so that's a project that is probably interesting as well. what can Ash do at the helm of a actual ambitious project as opposed to GamerLegion, which is like trying to turn a profit?
Yeah.
Something that, like, I don't mean any harm by what I will say, but I I have heard good things from Ash from players, yes. But when was the last time he actually like won something? Like
He
Well,
was a
actually won
yeah.
something.
GamerLegion's coach. Like
Yeah, it's like oh, Harry Kane didn't win anything on Spurs. Like, he's in fucking Spurs, man. What's he supposed
he
to
got
do?
them to a major final. Like you can't really ask much more than that.
Yeah, that's true. He had GamerLegion major final. That's fucking ridiculous.
Like
With
pretty good.
Sui as his IGL, who failed on Liquid, sort of
Yeah.
Like I don't know. If you like, let's just pretend I'm playing like esports
That's good.
manager career, you know,
Oh.
and you give me Gamer Legion project, or rather Aurora project. They I would guess they have pretty good money. They have they're a pretty like stand up team, you know. So like I don't know. I think Ash could do great things. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but I would probably would have gone if you're going for the international roster and you are like doing this thing that Aurora is doing right now. I would probably have gone to a more you know bigger name coach. Even though
I disagree.
I don't know who would you get, but
I
I
don't think
think
there's many coaches if any better.
I think he's arguably, other than Blade, maybe one of the best, like the best coach in the CS scene. Like it's
I
hard to tell.
saw XTZZ.
He's in that tier. Like he is. It's hard to say when he's never been in charge of a contender. So obviously that's a big asterisk to add. But just by pure even just listening to people, like the Imma went going out of his way to tweet about him, even though he wasn't on his team anymore. Like there's a lot of things that when you just people aren't doing that about other coaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think big names are also overrated a lot of the time. Like Zonic, what did he do with Falcons until he got Kerrigan, right? Like that's a big name. But
Got a lot of majors, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, but he got Kerrigan before they became good.
Got a
uh,
lot of majors. I don't know. There's a lot
like
of majors. I'm losing
I
count.
I see where you're going for, but I don't know. Like I would love to see Ash doing great. I hope he does great. I just don't know if that would be my first choice, you know. But it's cool, I guess. Um, let's talk about other thing that got me a little bit. It surprised me a bit, if I must say so. We got Gizmo going to 100 Thieves and taking Rain out of the IGL position, which is
Yeah.
weird. They got this whole project around Rain and him being the IGL, and it lasted like, what, 6 months now? And he's already out of the IGL chair. Do you guys think that it was a matter of he just didn't do good enough, or what was the
He's
point?
not the first, and he won't be the last player to think, "Oh, I could do this shit. It's easy." And then 6 months later, somebody get a leader. I can't be asked anymore. He's not the first. He won't be the last. Like a lot of people think they can do it until they try it, and then they try it and go, "Okay, this." Some of them succeed. Apex, obviously. What I was saying is that a lot of players think they can lead until they try it, and then when they try it, they go, "This is harder than I thought." Somebody get
A lot of the riflers in Rain's generation, funnily enough, all went through the cycle of Nico being the main poster boy for this process.
pretty much everyone in FaZe has done it. It's only broky.
Yeah. And I saw
Twist.
people on Twitter saying broky should become the IGL now as well.
Fuck it, why not?
I mean,
J Mark. That's what we want to see. Yeah, no, I mean, like Gizmo's a very good in game. Like from from what we've seen, Gizmo is a very good in game leader. I think sometimes you can be a great in game leader on one team and not on another. So take it with a pinch of salt. There's nothing to suggest he isn't a very good in game leader that wouldn't massively improve.
I think it's something that's again notable is that the entire I don't know, response to LG signing that core was, why did you not get Gizmo? I think that's a pretty clear indication of how people feel about him as an IGL. a lot of the credit for their major run also like seems to be going, like a lot of the narrative was, wow, Monte are having some great calling, respect to Kakafu, respect to Gizmo. Like that was a lot of the narrative around Monte. And I think that kind of makes sense. I mean, they have maybe one up and coming star and a bunch of role players. So yeah, I mean, I think Hunter Thieves maybe got the kind of a steal here. It's not necessarily going under radar, but I'm really, really curious to be keeping an eye out on 100 Thieves. They could be a team to watch this upcoming season. They have a lot of VRS points to gain, so that'll be something for them to go through. But if we see them in bigger events, they might surprise some teams, especially with the way Device has been like farming recently.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are kind of aware of what 100 Thieves are. It was a real shame for Agile, I thought. He'll probably end up on Saw now, because he's actually been very good on this team. But somebody had to make way for the leader, and they don't want to get rid of the big names for obvious reasons. As you say, Device has been very good, so it'd be kind of fun to see them back in Tier 1. The Tier 2 circuit is brutal, though. Like, it's so difficult to get out of. It's part of the reason I don't really like the way things are structured at the moment. Like, it would be more fun to have them at an event than, like, B8 again or Pain again. But what can you do? Yeah, I think 100 Thieves. I think everyone kind of won. Like, Gizmo gets a new team to prove how good he is with some like genuine like top tier in the past, but top tier talent. Luminosity get a VRS points.
Insane
the other players probably get a pay raise. I think everyone kind of won out this move. So.
Except for Monte, who have now lost their VRS score for free, which is one of the most like insane things to happen recently.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Especially like if you look back at BC.Game paying $2.5 million for a core that they have already released for free, like getting a VRS core for free is insanity.
Yeah, they should have just asked BC.Game to on a second team.
True, actually.
But wait, one thing that actually got me, that surprised me a little bit was that they got Lux, to be,
yeah,
the like, why would they? I don't know why. Don't get me wrong.
Apparently, they'd already signed him. They'd already signed him, and they were like, "Oh," because they weren't sure if they were going to have a Brazilian team or a European one, and then the opportunity to buy Monte came up. So they wanted Lux because he could speak English and Portuguese, so they could remain flexible in the market.
I think they found out pretty late the fact that Monte's contracts were expiring. It's that word, market opportunity again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, if that's the reason, then it's much simpler than I thought. But like, hey, I mean, I like Lux. I think he's a good player, and I mean, the Monte core that's now Luminosity it's pretty good, right? They can get I mean, I would say pretty far, and they got a lot to prove, and that's one thing that I'm looking forward.
I want to get ahead of one narrative I've seen about Luminosity. It's something Monte tweeted about as well, with them losing at this XSE event. Don't take this event seriously, like, please. The prac PCs have viruses. Let's not take new cores as performances at this tournament that like it actually means anything.
Let's wait for the player break. It's in the player break. Who cares?
It's insane. Exactly. That's what I've been saying. Like, can we stop judging people off of
Let's just not have this event. It shouldn't be here.
Man, with the production, I'm pretending it didn't exist either. Like, it's just not good to watch.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of mistakes in production too, right? I heard something about that. I mean, I'm not really watching this tournament because it's just awful hours for me. Like, it's in the middle of the night for me, but I don't know.
In my editorial, I called it a disgrace to Counter-Strike, because it's like genuinely awful to watch. Day one had PCs crashing, computers like completely not having Counter-Strike installed. That's why the FaZe game was delayed by like 2 hours, so they had to install the game. During the technical pause, they were offering free mouse pads, which turned out to be 50% off, not actually free. Like day two, one of the transformers exploded. Like, what else? Like,
was it Bumblebee?
I saw that image.
Fuck off.
Anyway, speaking of disgraces to Counter-Strike, did anyone see NIP also made a move? Sorry, I had to find a team that was disgraceful enough for this seg. I had the segue in my head. I needed the team. Yeah, they got rid of Ken, who has been absolutely rubbish on this team for the most part. Like, he came in with like this reputation as this like super shooter, and he's just not at all. He's just kind of bad.
When will Nip give up on Snappy at this point? Or when will Snappy give up on Nip, whichever breaks first? Because this marriage has so far exclusively been bad for both of them.
If I know anything about Snappy, he will break first.
Honestly,
that guy has a short temper, man. I love him. He's so funny, but he has a short temper. He will break first.
I prefer not to speak.
Yeah, they got Note, who I think's an academy player, so I presume they're still looking for. They need like an actual star on this team. I mean, like Kaspersky's a star, but they need somebody to like. They need his shocks. They have the scream. They need his shocks.
I will say the guy they filled in with Note. Note's a really, really, really talented CS player. I'm not sure if he's ready for the step up yet, but everything I've seen from him so far has me pretty moved. Question will be if he can integrate. I mean, I've seen a lot of these. It seems to be pretty 50-50 so far. If these like academy stars translate, with Jabot on FaZe doing well right now.
Oh, that's what I was going to bring up. I was going to bring up. Is it Jabot? J-Bone? I was going to call him J-Bone. That's kind of like how I like J-Bone sounds cool. But yeah, no, FaZe, as we sort of mentioned, they got rid of broky, right? Finally, etc. Brought in J-Bone, who I had never heard of. I'm going to be completely real with you. I had never heard of him. You'd heard of him like a day before, apparently. So
yes, as soon as I heard of him when I got told that he was joining FaZe a couple of days before it happened, and then I went back to watch his demos, and I went, oh, okay, I see. This kid is like really, really good. The question always is with snappy oppers, and he has a couple tendencies in his game that are a little weird at first glance. Like he likes walking into op shots. But then you start paying attention and you realize he only does it when he's peeking from like the right angle, so he has the peeker's advantage and stuff. You go, oh, he's like really mechanically aware and hitting some insane shots while he's doing it. What I was talking about today with Sam, who's not here right now, is I think he has that. You know, when you think of Simple, when you think of Monte, you think of these like top oppers, they all have the same trait, which is they can hit really quick shots that shouldn't be accurate, but they always hit them. He has that exact same trait. Where he'll like
Yugi had that.
Yes, true. It's not saying that he's going to translate, but when you're dropping 1.2 ratings and a 2 rating on land today and you're doing that, then I'm like, okay, you have that X factor.
I'm intrigued. And he's come in at a good time where like he can't really be much worse than broky. Like it's a really like it's not like he's coming in for a guy everyone loved who was doing well. Like, you know, like we'll get to Wrinkle in a minute, Wrinkle on G2, where he's coming in and he like, oh, you've got to perform quite quickly. Yeah. Even though people aren't that high on Sunpius for whatever reason, like he's got to perform pretty quickly. Whereas J-Bone, it's like, yeah, you give him some time because like if you're already like if he's bad at first, it's like, well, we haven't actually downgraded.
Yeah.
And at least we have upside. So he like the signs are good so far. I think it's Naichu. Is he staying? I think
it's not technically announced yet, but that's the word on the street. Yes, that he'll be staying. What I've heard,
he looked decent when I've seen him.
He does good in bad roles. What I've heard is that FaZe are looking to spend money on replacing Jacob. The question I'm not sure about, I'll have to speak to someone like Mischief, which we don't know each other, but I might have to reach out, is I'm not sure what the VRS complications are with Jacob on the roster right now.
I think I had this discussion, or I saw this discussion earlier. I'll get back to you.
But yeah, that's
I saw somebody talk about it earlier.
I'm not sure if there is a time period that Jacob has to stay in the roster for the VRS. If that's not the case, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets replaced this transfer period. If he needs to stay, there might be a little bit of a like FaZe clan being a half state, like not quite finished roster, but trying to see if these pieces can work together. And then maybe when they reach the end of this season into Singapore Major later in the autumn, I'm pretty sure, they might make the call on are we keeping J-Bone and who's replacing Jacob at that point in the like cycle, which is might happen.
If I'm not mistaken, you need to play at least 20 matches for the VRS to kind of transfer. So that's what 100 Thieves did, or rather BC.Game did. They played 10 matches, then changed one player, then 20 matches and changed the rest.
So word on the street is if they keep Naichu, they can kick Jacob after Monday and they won't lose a hell of a lot. They'll lose a tiny little bit, but they'll still get pretty much all of the same invites. So
that will probably explain why the rumors I'm hearing is that FaZe are looking to actually splurge on replacing Jacob. That is apparently what's going to happen. How true that is, I can't tell you, but that is what I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got
Okay.
Nature to be that sort of role player, you've got Twist, who isn't like anymore really a star at tier 1. Like they actually have room for like a star or a second star, like to bring in. Like they actually have, if they have some money, that is where they should spend it.
I think there is a quiet acknowledgement behind the scenes generally that there's a lot of moves right now on hold, with a lot of teams waiting to see where the first pieces will go. And I'm suspecting that FaZe might end up, if they get lucky, if everyone stays in a Mexican standoff, they might end up catching a better player than they expected at this point, or because someone's still, let's say someone like Long, 'cause that's not who I'm thinking will go, or maybe even the best fit, but just their name. If his move stays in limbo for a while, someone like that could end up falling to FaZe if they haven't made a move by the time that someone's eligible.
Makes sense.
Okay.
One move that I guess it was expected and it was like telegraphed, but did surprise me a bit was Klim going back to, G2 Aris and NQZ getting into MIBR. But NQZ isn't the weird part for me. It's Klim, because Klim was performing pretty good. Like he was doing well. And for MIBR, which is not a great team, if I might say, uh they got Klim out with he was on a loan. Okay, that was expected and telegraphed. But Klim should be, I think, in a tier 1.5 to 2
I don't know
team
why
and not
G2 didn't let it
benched.
keep him.
Well,
Why didn't G2 just have him into the Sun Pious? I don't
word
know
on the
why.
street is that he is a absolutely terrible player to work with, that he does not
Right,
like
okay.
practice, that he does not like learning nates, that he is not particularly a good person to be around. Just say it like that.
Right, okay.
That is what yeah, that's what's been talked about generally. I
Okay.
think
that would make sense, because I'd heard Sun Pious was benched for behind, like, out of server reasons as well, which again would make sense, because there's no way, like, his in server performance is fine. Like he's
Yeah.
not worse than Wrinkle in servers. I mean, like the how willing they were to bench him, and the fact that nobody's picked him up yet, means there was probably something else going on.
That's what I kind of been saying to people talking to me about Clem a lot is you have to ask yourself, if you really think he's this good, why hasn't G2 taken a risk? Why is MIBR not paying the big money? Why is no one absolutely chomping at the bit for him? But given his stats, which do look incredible, there has to be something there. And when you hear the murmurings that it is a personality issue, you kind of go, oh, okay.
The thing
Yeah.
is, MIBR is in a look, what will happen is, or what I think would happen is, of course, right? This, of course, all allegedly. I don't know the future, but insaNi contract is supposed to end like after the Singapore major, right? So nobody got insaNi now. insaNi is performing pretty well. I think he can be on pretty much any tier
Legacy
1
were
team at
trying,
this
weren't
point.
they? Legacy
Yes,
were trying for him.
but what I know, or what I've heard, is that insaNi's buyout is insane, pun intended.
Yeah.
And
Brazilian players often have ridiculous buyouts.
Like La
correct.
Liga players.
And if you think about it, if insaNi's contract ends at the end of the year, he just was like, don't pay the buyout and we talk again at the end of the year. And this would and I'm sorry, but pardon my French, but this would royally fuck MIBR, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because if they can get that buyout, and if insaNi just said, "Meh, I'm not renewing the contract, I will just walk through the door right now and goodbye," and he could get straight into a tier 1 team, and that would absolutely fuck whatever MIBR has planned for him.
I wonder if MIBR have done the math on what are our chances of making the major if we sell him, and do we get more money if we sell him or if we make the major? That might genuinely be the math that they've done. And they might have concluded we'll make more money if we qualify for Singapore with him still farming, and if we try to replace him, we probably can't. So we'll maybe fall out of the VRS qualification. Like that's probably the way they're justifying it. And for insaNi, I mean, if you're going towards the end of the year when Fallen's retiring, and if the rumors are true that Yekandar's taking over the IGL roles, there might be some roles for him to fit in there, and he could move on to a bigger team. You know, that is also
True.
possibly a good.
He will
opportunity
have
for
a
him.
lot of teams that would want to sign him, I think. I mean, yeah, I could see him going to Aurora, quite frankly. Like, I feel like that would make some sense as well, if his English is good enough.
I just want to address something. Horizon just said about insaNi going to possibly FURIA, but one player that I think would fit more into FURIA than probably any other Brazilian player at this point, Snow. With Fallen
Oh,
Yeah, he's
retiring,
good. He's good.
and Yakindar possibly going to the IGL role, Snow would fit like a glove in FURIA because Yakindar would still be that entry fragger, that you know crazy player that just goes into any gunfight, and Snow is by definition more of an anchor player, so it would fit super well.
I hear what you're saying. I think that that's a lot of pressure to put on him. I don't know how much. I'm not quite sure how much I buy that that's the right move for them. Um, Especially with like Yekindar at this point, he's a little bit more of an opener than he is an entry, which is in part semantic, but it is important because he's not actually entrying. He's not the first guy on site. He's trading a lot in those instances. He's just taking space early in the round. And that's something that, like, I think if you got insaNi in, I think if you got him and Yekindar went to IGL and you combined them together, that would create a better cohesive structure, at least in my opinion. So that's why I think that is the best move for them. Especially also, I don't know. I don't think insaNi is leaving the Brazilian sphere. Brazilian players, for some reason, just don't like doing that. That's why I think it's basically a layup.
Yeah,
Well, but if
I
insaNi
don't
went to
agree.
FURIA, he would still have to speak English. Like, that's not.
I mean, yeah, but it's different, isn't it? I
It's
mean,
different. He's still he's still got Kei Serato and Yuri he can go out to lunch with and speak Portuguese with. Like it is different speaking English with your fellow Brazilians. I think. There's also the fact that playing for Furia is like a dream for a lot of Brazilians. I think.
Yes.
yeah.
I think
That
there's
that is true.
probably three more big moves we should talk about before we move on because
Mhm.
we could talk about Furia all day. I think there's I just got MOUZ.
We haven't even mentioned
G2
BC.Game.
and BC.Game. Yeah, so MOUZ JL seems to be coming in, which I argued I quite like it. Now, see, I like it because I think JL is very versatile, and MOUZ need a weird player. They need somebody who will be a star on the T side and will anchor on CT side, and JL can actually do that. There aren't many players where that is a thing. They currently don't have, like, when he stood in, he was a hard anchor. I mean, like, Carrigan rolls. He was
Yeah.
like Carrigan rolls, and he's good at that. Like he's good at that. And then on T side, I think he was like their superstar. Like he was almost built around. Like he was certainly very aggressive on the T side and hard anchor on CT side. And if you're going to have him as like a support player, he is extremely overqualified for that. He's very very good at his peak. It's just whether or not you have him at his peak and whether he can be asked.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's a interesting move for them. I mean, obviously, they know him. He's played with them now, so they will know what they're doing. I continue to question if this MOUZ roster has any chance of beating anyone
Well-
with hands in playoffs.
Well,
Like,
the issue, but the issue with their moves isn't JL. It's whether or not Zelex is any good.
I
I've
mean,
referred
I've
to
been
him as
impressed.
I've referred to him as a double slit player, where like when he's a completely different player when you're observing him and when you're not. Like when you watch him, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, this guy can play. Like he's so good. And then off screen, he's 9 and 17, and I don't know how. Like he's just always negative. But when you watch him, like, oh, this guy's good. He can play.
Xelix, you mean?
Yeah.
Or Jail? Oh, Xelix, yeah.
Xelix, yeah.
Yeah, no, he
Double
is
slit,
mechanically gifted. You can tell he needs a lot. He barely playing CS. I think his first major was IM Rio that he watched. Like this.
Yeah, you can
like,
tell.
Yeah, he needs some time in the oven, but the mechanics are there, and I think that's
Yeah.
hard to teach anyone. You can teach anyone the theory. Teaching someone to shoot that way, that's difficult. So I'm optimistic. The problem is you still have like the biggest pussies in the scene as your stars in many ways. Like I think watching it's a torture exercise watching Spinks lurk sometimes.
Oh god, I hate it.
If you did that to people in Guantanamo, it would be considered a human right abuse.
Yeah,
So
Vietnamese drip torture player, like the actual torture. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like he is worse than Blame F. Like he actually is. I was going to use a word I shouldn't use. Like he is worse than Blame F. Like he is I hate watching him. I really do.
What Donk is to fragging graphs, Spinks is to lurking graphs every time.
Yeah, like he is. I hate him. I hate him. I really do. I cannot stand watching Spinks play the game. He's so good. He's so good, and you watch him. And it's like, fucking do something, please.
Yeah,
carry your team. You can do it. I've seen you do it.
And then it's combined with the Aurora stars of Torzi and Exertion, who just like don't seem to be big in these big moments all the time. And I don't know if MOUZ have fixed their actual issues. So
JL is a vibes guy though. Like if anyone can drag you and you're like you're down 11-4 in a semi-final on stage, JL does not care. Like he would just be like, lads, just fucking grow up. Let's just win. Like, what are you doing? Like, they actually do need that. I think that's one of the reasons I really like this move. Is he actually will, like, he'll be an emotional leader that they need.
Then Synchron in the timeout will be, guys, take deep breaths. Oh, take deep breaths. That's like what he's gonna keep doing. And it's just
JL breathing like Darth Vader.
Like
actually, yeah, no, I like this. I like this move more than I think most people do. I actually rate it.
Again, my thought is just I don't think they fix their core issues, but that's it, really.
No, but nobody could fix their core issues on their own.
That's true.
G2, I hate the move. Go on.
If I may, like the only comment I have on the JL move, or actually the JL sticking, that would be more precise, right?
Yeah.
Is that I like JL a lot as a person, as a personality within the scene. And I am quite happy to see him not disappearing or being like banished into tier 3 Armageddon,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Everyone loves JL. Nobody has a bad word to say about him. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
He posts some bangers.
That too. So that's like, I am happy to see him not on like 100th team in the world, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But at the same time, I don't know if, and I need to think about how I will say my next phrase, because I don't want to like I don't mean any harm with what I want to say, but I don't know if he has what it takes anymore to be in that kind of position. I hope he does, but only time will tell, I guess.
If they're requiring him to do anything other than be a bare minimum viable product in his roles, I honestly think that's asking too much anyway. The expectation has to just be JL, like, keep doing what you were doing when you were standing in, and just, like, do a decent job in shit roles, and then they'll be content, really. The question is, how much can the stars of MOUZ actually perform?
Well, I think we all hate the G2 move, so let's go and abuse them instead. I don't think there's anyone who likes this move.
Yeah.
Like as you say, it's probably an out of server thing. I don't think it's an in server thing, but I actually quite like Wrinkle. I actually do quite like Wrinkle. I don't know what it is. There's just something about him when
it's not his gameplay.
No, it is his gameplay. I don't know what it is. There's just something about him. Like when I watch him, I'm like, I see it. I see the vision. Like I see what you're trying to do. I can see why somebody rated you. I really can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's bad. I just don't think he should be on like a team that was in major quarterfinals. I like if he was going to Foot. No, even that's no. If he was going to B8, I'd be like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. Even though Sizzy was actually low-key really good in the major, but like, okay, yeah, fine, I get it. It's just I don't think he's G2 level, but I do like him. I like him as a player. GamerLegion, I'd love it. I'd love it if he was like GamerLegion. I think that's a good move.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the biggest Wrinkle fan.
Wrinkle's interesting because he's one of the rare oppers that actually is decent on T-side and not that great on CT. At least that's what the like base statistics read out, which is an odd dichotomy of an opper. So, usually it's the other way around.
What you said about like, oh, you can teach somebody the theory, but you can't teach them the mechanic. I reckon you can teach an AWPer to play CT side, but it's harder to fix them on T side. So
yeah, 100%.
I'm optimistic, but I don't think he's as good as Senpias, and I don't think this move was done for in-server reasons.
And what I think about Senpias is he's like almost the perfect floor opper if you're like stars or riflers. If you have great rifles,
Yeah.
you want some Pius because he's going to rarely be the reason you lose a game. He might not be the reason you win a game, but he's going to hit most of the shots you expect him to hit. Even when he
Sad
misses.
because he used to be the reason you win a game. He really did used to be that guy.
But CS2 did a number on go oppers, so like
really
it's
did.
hard to blame it on him because how many of them
Really
have
has.
actually translated at all? It's it's rough.
Bring
But
back CS:GO.
See, I won't go that far. I saw some gameplay recently and scary season, but like I just don't get Wrinkle. Like, surely there is another opper in the entire CS scene that has. Why did you pick up J-Bone? Like, it's not a secret he's a prospect. HOTV have been writing about him for months. Like, the reason I didn't know about him is just because I'm not that big on Academy CS at the moment.
I refuse to use HOTV because I'm a ready.gg superstar.
Like, but even then, like
that's the way. That's the way.
There's we don't.
I
have
mean,
stats
Henny
at
was
Academy
available.
CS.
You could have got Henny. Like.
But like, there's so many. There's so many like people you could have given a shot. Why Wrinkle? Like there like you said, there must be a vision they have for him, a plan. Saw must think he can fix it.
I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm telling you, there's something there. There is a player there. There is. I promise you.
In 6 months, when Klim comes back from another loan and maybe his personality is fixed, he'll just get kicked for Klim. To be fair.
Yeah, I think personality is harder to fix than CT side.
I was mostly joking. I think you're going to try to sell him for a load of money and fund like that.
Yeah, no, I'm higher on Wrinkle than most, and even I don't like it. Which I think is, I think is quite.
That's fucking terrible.
I stamped that salute. I stamped that.
I quite like him as a player. I just don't. I really want to back it because nobody else is. I really do. I really want to be like, no, this is the move. This is the like. I'm all in. But
Okay. Wait. Before we get too far into this, let's just talk about the last team that is actually on our list, because I think that this is the big one, and we haven't spoken about them yet, which is of course BC.Game, right? I mean, they got Senzu's buyout, which was what, like $2 million or something like that, $1.5 million.
Was it? I didn't know it was that much.
Hold on. Was it?
I think it was. It was
might well have been. I haven't heard this, but you might well be.
Apparently, the report says $1 million. That is a report I've seen. I'm not sure if that's true.
Wow. Yeah, like, listen. What I'm saying is, this might not be true. This is just what I've seen on Twitter or something like that. They got Senzu like permanently, which was not surprising. I don't want to say surprising because it's quite okay, but I didn't think that would happen. And they got Magisk coming back with I mean, again, what I said in the opening of the episode is quite true. If this was 2019, this would be a tier S plus team, right? Imagine simple electronic Magisk, and okay, Senzu didn't exist in 2019, but imagine something of the or someone of the level of Senzu. This would be a killer team, but right now is kind of, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I still think Magisk is a good player and a good leader, if I might say. And also, Magisk, I think, in my crazy imagination world, is someone that Simple would respect as a leader.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing when you have personalities like Simple's. You need someone who can, slap him around and say, listen, you need to do this. And Magisk is someone who I would say, I know for a fact, is capable of doing that. But I don't know what to expect. I don't know if this team is going to the major, for instance.
My problem with this team is that you've gone all in on winning now with a team that has lots of question marks. Like, so many things have to, like, you have to flip 4 coins, like 3 of them have to be heads for this team to be good. Like, you have to hope Simple is motivated and still good, which we've seen flashes of. We've also seen flashes of him being pretty mid as well.
I'd buy that, to be fair.
Sure, I probably would, but it's I don't think it's a sure thing. Senzu is good, but how, like, is he actually a superstar, or was he like a superstar in the Mongols and actually outside of that he's a good player?
Mhm.
That's kind of my inkling, but I don't know for sure.
Mhm.
Magisk as an in-game leader, like, he's not nowhere near the same player. Is he actually still a great leader? Again, I couldn't tell you one way or the other, and I think
Mhm.
you're flipping a coin almost, and you're spending a probably quite sizable chunk on these players. Like you say, $1 million buyout. That is, I'm sure Senzu's probably on a wedge as well, and Simple's definitely going to be on a wedge. Electronic, like, is he your second star? Is he your support? Is he still good? I don't know.
All of this isn't helped by the fact we have no idea who their fifth is yet. That's not been confirmed.
We don't know who their fifth is. Apparently, they were in the Yimfat, but the CEO said no, so who knows? But well, he said
There
they weren't
is-
signing him. He didn't say they weren't. They were not
Yeah.
in for him, I think. So
I've heard they were, to be fair, but
yeah, so they're probably looking at a support. But Laux isn't a support, so I don't think they quite know what they're looking for.
No, and I think we saw Sam talk about something that we shouldn't share on pod, but like there's a lot of rumors that have been going around, and I think what that indicates is the fact that they're not sure themselves who's signing. I mean, that's something the CEO tweeted about, is that it wasn't set in stone. I think last night or the night before that, he was already saying like
yesterday. Yesterday my night. That would be today or like very early morning. I think there was a tweet there where he said that it was already defined and or decided, and it was a younger player who had played in a major, who had played for big teams. So that's what he said.
I just saw something about there being like a reason that hasn't been announced yet. Maybe that's I misunderstood the tweet then. What I can say in any case is I believe in Magisk as an IGL. I spoke to him in 2023, I think. It could be 24, when I was at Cato, and I talked to him about how much he does as Vitality's leadership structure, and he was talking about how he does help Apex quite a bit in certain situations. He picks up calling where sometimes things can get quiet, etc. And Apex has probably helped. A lot of Apex's IGLing transition was helped partly by that. Think back to when glazed took a break on Astralis. The first person who took over was Magisk. Zonic had a lot of great things to say about his leadership at that time. I think if you look back throughout his career, you'll notice a steady pattern of Magisk being a vocal leader on his teams and doing a lot. It's a good question of how much of that is, like, he isn't the same player. To what degree is he familiar with the way CS is played right now? It's different. Like, it's different. But I do buy him as an IGL. Like, everything I know about him as a player tells me that that will probably translate. And in that case, I buy the 50-50 on Magisk, and I do believe Simple will be good. What I don't buy into at all is Electronic. I have no idea what their plan for him is. If it is Lalic, then you have three riflers trying to do the same thing with him, Senzu, and Electronic. Is Electronic going to buy into worse roles? Is that the plan? I don't think he's looked stellar when he's done that in the past. Like, what is really the structure going to be? And I think that fifth has to answer a lot of questions. We'll probably have a whole other discussion once that's been announced. But Electronic, I don't know. And yeah, I think that's how I feel about BC Games. There's a lot of things that might go well. One thing I don't think will go well. And even if it does go well, like, the fifth is going to really dictate what their ceiling is. Because if that's a player who can frag and Senzu turns out, let's say, to be about middle between good and superstar, he's just a star, I guess. He can do decent games, won't carry you to trophies. There is a team there, but I'm not sure what the upper ceiling for them is and what their ambitions are.
I just linked the tweet I saw in our Discord, and I will read it out so everyone that's listening can understand what's going on. This is from July 1st at noon for me, so that would be like evening for you guys. So 2 days ago. Hey guys, just last minute things happening, so might be some changes. It's not JL, of course, that's already been resolved. Yes, it's a young player. Yes, it's someone who has played major or on a major. Yes, it's someone who has been in a top team. Hope you understand and just trust.
Soulfly?
That's
actually
the
yeah. I mean, we've sort of. I don't know if Sam was being serious with what he said, or if it was just a suggestion. So I'm not going to read it out in case he actually does have inside information.
Yes.
But it wasn't Soulfly was a play. The play he suggested was more of an aggro star.
And that has actually, even if that's not his, this has been a pretty consistent trend that, except for Jim Fat, a lot of the players linked has been pretty, like, aggressive stars.
Yeah, so the idea probably is that Electronic's going to be a support, which just sounds bad. Like, it just doesn't sound good.
No.
Like, it just doesn't sound like I just have too many concerns with this team, and they're going to cost an absolute fucking fortune. And I
Money
just
can't
don't
buy you
think they're going to
taste.
be that good. Like, I think their ceiling is like top 20. Like, I really do. I
Man,
really
top
don't
20,
think
would
they're
they
going to
be
be able.
happy, to be fair?
But like, you look at the teams in top 20, it's like Magic, Astralis, Monte, Pain. Like, they can be as good as fucking Pain. Like, of course
Yeah,
they
that's
can.
true.
They have Simple and Senzu. Like, they can be as good as Pain. Like, I'm not going to completely write them off, but I'm not super high on this team unless the fifth is like game changing.
And I'm kind of not buying because I feel like a lot of stars are looking at this project and going, why would I sign up to be yelled at by Simple for nothing?
Yeah.
I mean, a good wage probably, but
Yeah, I don't know. Like again, I trust that Magisk is good, and I still have a little bit of trust in what Simple could do. It's just I don't know if this team will be a tier 1 team. That's my whole
No, I don't
problem
think
right
they will
now
be.
because they are investing arguably a lot on bringing this team
Oh,
together.
absolutely a lot.
Well, yes. Just the Senzu buyout, for instance, is a lot of money,
Yeah.
and
That could fund Simple's wages for at least like 3 months.
I mean,
I prefer not to speak.
hopefully.
Oh man.
But what I'm trying to say is that, in my opinion, and hopefully I'm wrong here, but in my opinion, this is not a team that will do well against the top teams that we have right now. They don't have the moving parts that would be needed in order to do that. And I don't know.
Wrinkle's
I think
gonna kill him.
I feel like, honestly, low-key, BC games are getting mogged by 100 Thieves. I feel like 100 Thieves are everything BC Game want to be. Old stars, really, like, everyone seems to kind of like them and what they're doing. There's a lot of, like, low-key hype in the scene. And everyone's looking at BC Game. We're basically trying to do the same thing. Like, look at these idiots and how they're wasting their money, which they have been, in fairness. But it's like, yeah, it's you see the same idea, completely different execution, and one of them is deservedly kind of getting bullied.
Bro is rebooting Simple versus Device drama in 2026. Let it go.
No, never.
Let it go. Simple one, man.
I mean, did he?
360 or PS3. Let it go. It's fine.
I'm just saying one has significantly more majors than the other, but
Well, yeah. Okay, so I think that's good enough for this, because I mean we've kind of went.
We're at 54 minutes already.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a 30-minute show, and it's going for almost an hour by now. So
it wasn't a slow
I'm
week.
gonna go to bed soon, so.
Yeah, so let's go forward to looking ahead and wrap this up real quick. Okay, so we got Blast coming up, we got EWC coming up. All of these are by the end of this month. Well, Blast is July 30th to August the 2nd, at least the Malta, the land part. And then we got EWC a little bit more than 1 month away. Listen, I think that there's two events specifically which are like these are when the player break will officially end. So for those that are listening, the big air quotes here, officially. And that's when that's when we are seeing these teams perform again.
Yeah.
So this would, in my opinion, say a lot about how the next season is going. At least how the start of the next season is going. And there's a few teams here that are a big cautionary tale for me, especially BC.Game, because they have that weird spot in history where they will either be horrendous or they will.
I don't think
like,
BC Game are attending either of these events, by the way.
No, they have to get through to open qualifiers for EWC, if I'm not mistaken.
Are they playing them? Because I thought those open qualifiers were like kind of cooked. I don't know if that's official yet.
Wait, let me look for it. I don't know. I have here in my script that they are. They might not be. If they're not, then it's just my bad. But either way, the argument still stands. For whatever tournament they will play, they are in that weird spot in that weird moment in history where they will either be horrendous or they will just pop off, which is weird. And coming into that, I think there are a lot of teams right now in Tier 1, like Falcons, FURIA, Vitality, that are not really moving, or arguably even Aurora and Navi now. They are not really going to move far away from that first spot. So I don't know what they're trying, but that's kind of my idea of how this next few events are going to go.
Dude, I gotta say, I'm excited as hell for Blast Bounty. It's gonna be a bunch of new teams, a couple of the old ones that have things to prove. People like, I'm not sure if the format's the same, but if people still pick their matchups, we're gonna see some bluffs called. It's gonna be really exciting.
Which is the thing that always kills the hype. It is online, but like, there's so many teams here. Like, somebody has to play Nemesis, who are an unknown Russian team, online.
Bro, Nemesis
with a new roster.
Nemesis, I'm about to be vulnerable. I thought Nemesis were cheating. Like, I was convinced they were Raider hacking because they have been incredible online and they have done the exact same thing as XSE. Now, I'm not saying that you can't cheat at XSE, but the fact that it's a LAN event and they're like doing the same stuff, being this like tier 2 team that's like a landmine for good opponents, I'm pretty impressed. If they're gonna beat their opposing matchup at Blast Bounty, I'll promise you. They're a like real tripping hazard.
I look forward to it.
Anything else you guys want to say before finishing this episode?
It's coming home.
It's not. France are walking this World Cup. I want to say, read my articles. I'm part of the staff now. Hi. So get on rdygg and keep an eye out on the stuff we're going to be doing.
Yeah, Horizzon is now officially part of the rdygg crew, which means that he will be more on this show too. So if you like him, look forward to that. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching if you're on YouTube. Stay ready, stay informed that you're in condition, and I will see you guys hopefully in 2 weeks again, because this one took a lot of time. So yeah, goodbye, and I'll see you on the next one.